What's up everyone, welcome back. In today's video, I'll be talking all about finding your photography style. Most of you guys know that YouTube isn't really my full-time thing, and you could definitely tell by how much I upload on here. So it's seriously awesome when we're able to get a sponsor when I do upload. So huge thank you to Squarespace for working with me on today's video. I'll be talking all about them later on, so definitely stay tuned. So about finding your photography style. This topic in specific definitely attracts a lot of different opinions and thoughts just because your creative style is so relative to who you are as a person. So in today's video, I'll be talking all about how I kind of fell into my own photo style and ways you can go about finding your own if that's something you're searching for. I'll also follow that up by saying you most definitely do not need a signature style whatsoever to be a successful creator. I know a ton of amazing successful people in this industry that are kind of a jack of all trades and find enjoyment in shooting anything and everything, and that totally works for them. If you can't find a medium or technique that's working out for you just yet, I would encourage you to try them all out. That's kind of what happened to me in a sense. I've been involved in art my whole life, but I only got the slightest bit interested in photography when I was already halfway through college. So I totally think that trying out different forms of art is a great way to grow your appreciation towards art, but also kind of take an approach on something you may have never tried before. But let's just say you're looking into photography as your preferred tool to create. If you're more introverted and meeting up with someone you've never met before to shoot sounds absolutely terrifying, then you don't have to do it. I mean, I totally recommend stepping out of your comfort zone every once in a while, but you totally do not have to interact with people to create some dope photos. For me starting out, reaching out to basically strangers on the internet was definitely super intimidating. So I basically just asked my closest friends if I could take their portraits instead. And what's funny is the majority of photos that I take and share with you guys on social media are still photos of my close friends, so not much has changed. It's something that kind of worked out for me, most likely just because of the ease of communication and comfortability I was able to have with them. But if not your friends, family, or just people in general, there's still a ton of stuff to shoot. Something I recommend and love to do is just going out by yourself during golden hour and shooting the sunset or literally anything you see that catches your eye, and you may end up absolutely loving what you captured. And then when you go out shooting once again, you've already had this experience and kind of approach this next shoot with more direction and creativity. So just keep in mind there is a place for all personality types in the creative space. But yeah, this topic is definitely a larger conversation than just this video, because falling into a style of creating is such a specific journey kind of catered to you and your experiences. But I mean, how can you really start developing a style if you don't just go out there and start shooting? For me personally, I've definitely found myself retaining a pretty specific photo style throughout the work I share on social media, and I always get a lot of questions on how that exactly has come to be. And now some of you may already be aware of this, but I studied computer art while I was in college, and even though it may not sound like computer art and photography go hand in hand, it was something that has totally impacted the way I produce my images today. From storyboarding to having entire semesters dedicated to Photoshop, Illustrator, and animating. I may have not known it at the time because I was focused in on computer art specifically, but all these creative elements that I was learning in school were really the foundation to kind of my career as a photographer now, and it really helped me construct my personal style. And as I continued to shoot on my own personal time, that wasn't really an assignment that I was handing in for homework. That's when I really started to see myself kind of fall into these specific habits and found what kind of captivated me in the things I like to shoot and started to expand upon that. And a lot of the times when I'm having someone critique or view my work now, they always seem to bring up a point that through my portfolio or Instagram, they could definitely sense a particular aesthetic or look going on, even when the composition or concept is totally different. And of course, when I look at my work, I see the same thing, but it's kind of something that trips me out a bit because it's not like I'm hyper-focused on maintaining this one look or feel. Rather, it's something that has almost come as second nature from creating so frequently. For example, I don't go out shooting as much as I spend time editing, so because of this, I like to get as much out of a shoot as I can when I am on location, because it's not something that's happening every single day. Preparing for my shoots by choosing a location at the most ideal time of day, asking my model or subject that I'm shooting to bring multiple outfits, and then just making sure that I'm shooting as much as possible are all intentional things that I do to maximize my overall shooting time, but those may be completely different for you. I know creatives that will go way more into the preparation side of things and kind of have a whole team behind them as they're shooting, and of course that's awesome too. I kind of love the idea that every creative kind of prepares for a shoot differently. And as for editing, I know that I can spend hours on literally just one photo. So when I do get back from my shoots and I'm looking over my selects, I like to do a ton of comparing and contrasting. And that way I don't waste my own time by editing an image that may be kind of subpar. I've also seen that I'm kind of drawn to more complementary colors and kind of an emphasis in tones and shadows in a final image. So when I am out shooting, I'm always on the lookout to capture frames where I can kind of pull that out when I am in the edit. So really all of these techniques and preferences with how I shoot and edit have really just become a fusion of kind of everything that I've experienced thus far throughout my kind of photography journey that has worked for me. And that totally goes the same for you. Even if you don't think you've kind of developed this signature style, look or feel, chances are you probably have. So I totally recommend just taking a step back and looking at your overall body of work, and you'll totally start to see kind of trends or techniques in your personal style that you've thrown into your photos without you even knowing. So really at the end of the day, finding your photographic style is something you'll kind of unintentionally fall into when you start to throw yourself into more shooting scenarios. And while a lot of those photos may not even be posted or shared with the world, they're totally still crucial into kind of your ever-evolving workflow. So don't get discouraged with that. I know that for me, I have thousands of photos that will never be seen by anyone else. Sometimes I'll have a 3-hour shoot, 4-hour shoot, and I literally will post one photo. So love that. So really finding your photography style is so relative to you. It's hard to kind of teach someone how to go about that. But of course, the best way to go about it is kind of getting out there to prep, shoot, and edit your own photos. But before we end off today's video, I briefly wanted to get back to Squarespace, who is kindly sponsoring it. So whether you need a domain, a website, or an online store, you can make it with Squarespace. Now my own website is made with Squarespace, and it seriously has played a crucial role in establishing my online portfolio, emphasizing my overall style, and also getting me in contact with clients who book me for work. And with their traffic overview feature, you can actually track trends in your page visits, and that way you can kind of better optimize your posting schedule. I also recently just tried out their embedded video feature, which seriously makes your domain stand out among the rest, so 10 out of 10 would recommend. So head on over to squarespace.com/BrandonWoelfel to get a free trial and 10% off your first purchase. I'll also make sure to leave my own website link down below so you can grab some inspiration if you're looking to make your own. Well, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I know it was kind of more of a chatty one with less behind the scenes footage, but I really hope you at least take something away from all of the things I shared with you today. Also, always be sure to tag or tweet me in photos that you've shot that you're super proud of. I seriously love seeing what you guys are up to and creating. I also wanted to mention that I also have a new photo book in the works, and it's available for pre-order. The cover of the book is actually this photo right here. So make sure to just check down below because there's going to be everything you need in terms of links. But with all of that, I'll see you guys super soon. Bye!